Every time you unzip your pants, taking out, please yourself, and afterwards you finish. That's not the real problem. No, the real problem lays in how much you're doing it. Every day, every hour, every 10 minutes, every second maybe. You're doing it so much that you're pushing others into it, wasting money on women that will never notice you in the first place, all to give yourself the illusion of pleasure. Well, there's one thing true. You're getting the pleasure, but it's poison pleasure. It's not real pleasure. It's not real dopamine. No, it's manipulated dopamine. And it's slowly killing you. It's robbing you of true confidence, energy, and drive. You can click away now, avoid the confrontation, and stay like this forever. Or you can stay here, watch the full video, no matter the urge you get. If you stay here, you will be a completely different man in 2 weeks. That's what you can achieve from just watching this video alone. So, as you're staying, let's get right into point number 1. Well, you walk with your head down. Not only your head down. No, this is how you will walk. I'll turn through it from the side. Head down. You walk like this. You're arching your back forward. Not this. Full on confidence. No. You try to hide something. No, how's that coming? Just that feeling that you're being judged for something. You know it's wrong, but then you want to make it right for yourself when you do it and everything. But in the end, when you walk publicly, you feel like this shy person. What is the scientific reason behind this? And a scientist has uncovered this. Regular use of porn, masturbation, with ejaculation is the number 1 killer that lets your testosterone go down. So if you take this in a graph, this is researched. So if your testosterone levels, if you time, so after 1 time, nothing really much happens. If you do it once a week, if you come then, there's nothing wrong. No hard things. 2 times, there's more of a dip. But after a certain amount of times, then it will just stay at the same level. So then you need to do nothing. Let it build back up. So it gets to this point. Or even increase. But no, you're keeping yourself in this range. That's where you're keeping yourself. That's the moment you'll be less confident. Because testosterone isn't about muscles or anything. It's your inner fire. Your testosterone is the number 1 thing linked to your metabolism. When your metabolism slows, you gain weight easier. Then you become chubbier, and the next thing you do is walk like this. That's the relation when it comes to testosterone and porn. I do not say you need to fully quit it or anything. Because as a normal couple, you have sex. You come then. That's normal. There's not a problem in it. But if you do it day after day after day after day after day, that becomes a problem. And that's a problem. I will get into it later. But now, we get to point number 2. So let's say you're at school, work, public spaces, with friends, people you get along with. You're surrounded by them, but you're feeling not energized. You know how's that coming? Yeah, is it addiction? That is the number one thing. Because conversations feel like surface level things, like it's just, how's been your day? Alright. Nothing more. It's just really shaving off a peel of something. If you have an orange, you're shaving off the outer shell. That's everything. There's no deep conversation afterwards. There's nothing afterwards in it all. No, it's just the surface that's being scraped. Like tickling someone. That's what the conversation goes. You're scrolling just on your phone because you're feeling numb, lazy, and an energy level of an absolute sloth. And you're just doing this. I said it. Your metabolism is slowed down. But that's not the only reason why you feel numb, less energized, or unmotivated. No. There's a different reason behind it. This addiction changes your brain. Your brain has now a different dopamine hit trigger. Dopamine hit trigger. So where you got dopamine from a conversation, no, now you only get dopamine from extreme pleasure. You've just rewired your brain. Because how can you rewire your brain? Through continuous action. If you do it day after day after day after day, your brain associates that moment is linked to that. So if you come home, you lay on your bed, and the first thing you do, unzip your pants and start doing it. The next time you come home, it becomes easier. The third time, more easier. Until at some point, it's just out of control. It just does it by routine. That's what our brains are designed to do. That's just what's happening. And then you come in an unnatural level of dopamine, which you get into a brain adaptive system which reduces dopamine receptors, a process called downregulation. This makes everyday pleasures like hanging out with friends, talking to a crush, or enjoying a good meal feel dull or empty. You've rewired your brain to only feel pleasure from extreme stimulation, and real life can compete with that. That is what you're doing. You've now reprogrammed your whole brain into thinking, I come home, unzip it, like you're doing this, toss it away, let's go. That's what you're doing. Do not do that. Now, this is one of the most common things. You have less energy, you're feeling unmotivated, but then you write a to-do list. And it's not a to-do list of 1, 2 points. No, you add a third one, a fourth one, a fifth, sixth one. Then you continue. Then you do this big of a task, maybe a short one, a really long one, a short one, a extreme long one, and then a very short one. Well, I want you to guess how many you can complete. 0. Because what you're doing is then you're feeling unmotivated, so you start procrastination, and then after that, once you're in that cycle of procrastination, you will endlessly scroll because then you get a dopamine reward for it without doing as much activity as you needed to. So you get more dopamine and more dopamine. It makes you feel good at that point. Then the stress, because you get stress of it, that you're not doing your to-do list, goes away by the dopamine you get, and then you make yourself feel good. It's the illusion of feeling good. That's what you're doing on a day-to-day basis to yourself. And this addiction weakens your prefrontal cortex, which is, if we take your brain, you have the back side, you have the front side. This is the side. Every time you let into that urge, this becomes weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. So if we take a resistance, the resistance is at some point this, and then after a time it slows, it becomes easier, until one moment there's nothing. No, at that moment there is no resistance at all. That is what you're doing it every time you do it. Every hour. There is no health benefits in it. There is nothing. You're just fucking yourself up. You can enjoy real connection. Then you start seeing a pattern. All of it is red. All of it is wrong. Well, I promise you one thing. At the end, there will come solutions to it. This is the whole breakdown. But you need to understand first what you're doing wrong, before you can get to a solution, which will come after my 5th point. This is the 4th one. But you cannot enjoy real connections. Maybe you've met someone, start chatting a few times. Then sometime you start hanging out, gets intimate, maybe you start a relationship. But then there comes a point. And that point is called sexual conditioning, or in other words, PIED, porn induced erectile dysfunction. You get anxious because it's not what you have seen, you struggle with it, it's different from you, and at some point you just only want what's on the screen. Because what's happening with the real life, it feels wrong, it's intimidating, making you shy, makes you stress, makes you feel bad. Then you get a PIED. And it's just, you struggle with low libido, feeling emotionally in the dump, even though it's not your fault, it's very real. And it can ruin what could have been a deep relationship with a person. That is what's happening. To continuous stimulation of that, your brain associates it's that. But then, in real life, if it is your first time, if it is her first time, the first time is something special. But it's also something, it's something you not need to be scared of, but it's positive excitement. But at that point, she can contract a bit of the stress. It can become tighter. And what you need to do is to comfort her. But what they're showing on that orange-black side is not that. No, they just whip it out, stuck it in. It's not their first time. It's maybe their 100th time. They already know what's coming. It's nothing special. It's nothing to be prepared for. No, they already know it. But then, if you try something new, just comfort her. That's then what you need to do. Make her feel good at that moment. It's not nothing just to take this thing that you're seeing, that it goes just inside of you. For us men, it's a normal thing to think about. But for them, instead of seeing it like this, they see it like a mile-long bridge. You just need to comfort her, just respectfully. But that is not what you have seen. And that is how you can ruin everything in a relationship very easy. And the last thing, you feel tired. You slept 8 hours like a baby. Then you wake up, you still feel tired. You could have slept 24 hours and you still feel tired. No matter the hours you sleep, you still feel tired. Why? After watching porn, your dopamine crashes. It's like sugar high followed by a crash. Only worse, and over time your baseline dopamine drops, which affects your energy, mood, and ability to feel motivated. Plus, porn use at night can disrupt your sleep cycles, messing with melatonin and keeping your nervous system in an overstimulated state. That leads to poor sleep quality, even if you sleep long enough. Also, with your metabolism, there is no energy. There's no energy being produced. If you have explosive energy, this over amount being produced. That's what you want. You do not want it to be on efficiency mode. No, you want it just on burning through your tank of fuel. That you need to eat 10,000 calories just to keep the burning on. That's what you want. Otherwise, you get this consequence very easy. And I've had it. And you wake up and you go, I do not want to. Just want to sleep. Why? Then, when you're sleeping, your testosterone builds faster up. And then, once you wake up, you then feel good enough to continue. But at that moment, your body just wants to restore to a normal amount of testosterone in your blood. Now, as I said, these are 5 points. What you're doing wrong. Now I have 5 solutions for you. And these solutions are science-based, backed by studies. And even from my personal experience. And the first thing you want to do is remove all triggers. That means every stimulation you can get, you need to remove it. So for most of us, it's our phone. Well, if you take my laptop as a phone right now, even though there's only work programs on it here. So if you have TikTok, I'm going to draw it out. So you have a first step, second, third, fourth, fifth. Then you have something else. Maybe you've done an app, something else. So this is what your home screen looks like. These are the apps where you can get stimulation from. So I'll give them a blue point in the middle. The rest you cannot get any stimulation from. Well, what is the best thing to do? Cancel those apps. Delete them. Or in other words, reprogram your apps. What I've done with Instagram. Every time I saw a girl that I didn't want to see on my page, I just tapped it, hold it, and said to Instagram, not interested. If you continue doing that and liking the things you're interested in, it flips your Instagram. For me, it was cars, a lifestyle I want to achieve, a family. That was for me. And then there's no trigger in it. TikTok is the same with TikTok. Very easy to do, only you need to do it. Or you can use a few apps, which I do not know if they work honestly, but Cold Turkey or Block Site. turn off private browsing and move your phone or laptop out of your bedroom is very good as well. And why does this work? Now at that moment, if your brain thinks, I'm there, it's time, now there is no stimulation. So it disrupts your brain, and then you're thinking, hold on, I do not want to do it. I won't do it. And if you continually do that, after 2 weeks, it's fully gone. That's how easy it can be. Now the second thing, replace the habit with real dopamine hits, which come from achieving success, which has taken 6 hours of work. So if it is making the video or going to the gym and then just feel that energy rush into your body, that is the dopamine you want to get. Or when you have just kissed a girl in a few months, that is like, it's another level of dopamine. It's not forced dopamine, it's dopamine you get from receiving love of life. And that porn, that gives you this fake dopamine. It's just that illusion that you're getting it, and it continues to kill your motivation. So to avoid that, start something you can get real dopamine of. If that is run a kilometer for you, and you've done it, it's amazing how good you feel the whole day, how you want to tell everybody, I've just run a kilometer. You will be amazed by how that feels. Just get a goal for yourself that you try to work to, and every time you've completed something, you feel a rush of a pat on your back. Good job, man. Let's continue. What this is something I highly advise, but I understand if you do not, which is tell someone. If you have a girlfriend, it's very easy. But if it is your best friend, then you get a social pressure pressed onto you, then you want to do it because you want to prove something, because otherwise, what are they going to think of me? That's what's getting to you. Personally, I've not used that, but it's something I highly recommend, because then you get a social pressure, and today, how we are seen socially is one of the important things. So you want to do it correctly then. Track your progress. Write it. Just take, if we have week one, week 1, week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to track it. So you get a green mark, green mark, green mark, green mark, green mark. Then you have a green, 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 green. Maybe you have a green, 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 green. It looks like this. So the first week, on Tuesday, first day, you failed. Second week, Tuesday. Third week, none. The progression is getting from 2 to 1 to 0. Give yourself that. It's again that feeling of achieving something hard, that you're putting the work before getting a reward. That's what you want to achieve. And last thing, change how you see yourself. It's just, you can feel disgusted, you can feel bad about yourself, but just change it. Then if you feel good about yourself, you naturally kill it, because that's the root problem why you had that feeling in the first place. So if you just kill that, it will just naturally disappear. And it is your brain is always changing. If you keep telling yourself you're weak, addicted, you stay stuck. If you act like someone who doesn't watch porn, your brain starts believing it and changing for real. If you believe something, which is called the placebo effect, it will happen. That is what you need to think of right now. And my man or woman, mostly it will be men who have watched until this. It was long, it was hard, it was harsh, and I understand if it is an emotional trigger. But already give yourself a applause. You've watched this video. You've watched it until the end. That means something. Now, you need to act further on it. Achieve this goal of stopping this addiction. And I know you can. And I know you will. Just do it. What do you have to lose? Right now, at this moment, you can get to this. There's nothing that's getting you lower. You can only go forward. There is no risk, only reward for you. How sweet is that? That is the best case scenario you can have in life. So right now, act on this, do this, and I hope to see you in my next video.